Hey guys, Wet Movie 1 back here again for another Blu-ray DVD update video for you guys today. It's been about 2 weeks or so since my last one. Got a nice sized stack of stuff here to talk to you guys about today. My mom's going to be popping in with her guest reviews a little bit later on in this video. But if you guys enjoy my videos, please hit that thumbs up button. Share this video around on your Facebooks and Twitters if you guys enjoy my videos in any way. But guys, let's get on to the first one up over here from Scream Factory. Very excited about getting this one here because I grew up watching this movie as a kid and just slowly fell in love with it even more and more every time I've watched the film. And that is John Carpenter's classic, The Thing here, the collector's edition from Scream Factory. This is of course his John Carpenter's classic from 1982 about a group of scientists that are working in the Arctic who uncover this weird alien being that's buried in the snow, and as soon as it unthaws, it starts wreaking havoc between the group of scientists. It starts like invading different people's bodies, and it's just a group of scientists trying to figure out where the alien is and whose body is this thing in. You know what I mean? Because it can take any form, a form of a dog, a form of a human. It can take any form of anything pretty much, and it's just them trying to figure out who's the thing and what the hell they're going to do to get out of the situation that they're in. And so it has this really cool atmosphere to the film. I love movies that are set in snowy settings and everything like that, but this one just always kind of creeped me out a little bit. And sometimes some parts of the movie kind of like makes me feel like I'm in a daze, like I'm falling asleep, like the way they kind of like fade in and out. When I found out that Scream Factory was putting this out, I'm like, oh my god, I have to see what this looks like, because the Scream Factory right here, you get a new 2K scan of the film from the original inner positive right here. You also get a new audio commentary track by the director of photography, Dean Cundy, new audio commentary by the director John Carpenter and actor Kurt Russell on here. I don't think that's a new one. I think that's an older commentary right there. You also get the theatrical trailer, teaser trailers, TV spots, but you also get all new interviews from the cast and crew, and a lot of the special features that were on previous editions of The Thing are all up on this disc right here. You get 2 discs of The Thing awesomeness right over here, and this of course is the new commissioned artwork from Scream Factory, and it also comes with the original artwork that I'm used to seeing all the time as a kid right over here. And I know this is not the original Thing. There was one that came out in like 1950s that was based on a book and everything like that, but this is the one I grew up watching. And I recently got the prequel movie, The Thing, and the horror pack that came out that I got a couple days ago, and I haven't watched this one in years, and I'm probably gonna pop that one in real soon, because that one of course takes place before this one. But I just want to let you guys all know that the Scream Factory put out the 2-disc collector's edition. But this next one up right here, I gotta say I like a little bit more than The Things. This one right here is the collector's edition of Brian De Palma's classic film Carrie, right over here. Of course, this is written by Stephen King, the master of horror himself. And if you guys don't know what this movie is, man, where have you been? If you guys love things with people that can move stuff with their minds and doing things like that, kind of like in Friday the 13th, 7, my favorite one of the Friday the 13th franchise, where that one girl can move stuff with her mind and throw stuff at Jason. This one right here is about this young girl, high school girl named Carrie White. She's growing up in a real Christian kind of environment with her mother and stuff like that. Her mom's always throwing Jesus down her throat, and she's going to school not knowing how she should act to boys and this and that. And one day she's in gym class. She's always getting picked on by the kids in school. The girls are always picking on her, Carrie, like all this kind of stuff. Ugly Carrie, like all this crazy cruel stuff that people do when you're in high school and school in general. And one day she's in the shower and she gets her period there, and of course all these girls are throwing tampons at her and everything like that. She starts getting angry and things and stuff, and then she slowly starts to realize when she gets mad, she has telekinetic powers and can move stuff with her mind. And of course, until one time she's going to the prom, and something really crazy happens, and then she goes nuts with her telekinetic powers. You have to watch the movie to see it if you've never seen it before. I don't know what you guys doing watching my video, but when I found out that Scream Factory was putting this out, I was like, oh hell yes, because Scream Factory also put out what's it called, Carrie, The Rage Carrie 2, and the remake of the TV version of Carrie that came out, and now they're putting out the original one right here with new commission artwork and of course the original artwork, which I'm not gonna lie, I like this a lot more. You know, with Carrie with the blood on her and just Carrie in the prom dress. I just like that right over here. But this new edition, you get a slew of new special features right over here. A lot of which are ones from previous editions of the film, but on here you get a new 4K restoration of the new 4K scan of the film from the original film negative, a theatrical trailer, Carrie franchise trailer gallery with new interviews with some of the cast members and crew members on here, still galleries, radio spots, like all the goodies. But one of my favorite special features that's on here, sorry I'm rambling about this one, is the new Horrors Hallowed Grounds from Sean Clark on here, where Sean Clark goes to the filming locations where they shot Carrie and stuff, and just, you know, showing us around and how it looks like today. I just really like those horror hallowed grounds that Sean Clark does, man. And plus, he's just a really cool dude. I always see him at these horror conventions. Really, really super cool guy. But if you guys love Carrie, just want to let you guys all know the new edition of it's out. And next up over here is from Scream Factory also. This is one of those ones, I don't even think it went to theaters. It's just one of those ones that Scream Factory acquired. And this is probably one of their better ones that they acquired recently. And it's called Fender Bender, right over here. And this one also comes with a Blu-ray and a digital copy of the film. And this is just a really, really cool 80s throwback kind of film. It's about this young girl named Hillary Diaz, I believe. She's this young girl, like 16, 17 years old. She just recently got her driver's license and stuff, and she's at the beginning of the film, she's just, you know, driving her parents' car, just doing whatever she's gonna do, and she finds her boyfriend cheating on her, you know, with some other guy, you know, with some other girl, and she's just like, oh my god, well, what am I gonna do? Like, you know, she's just, you know, distraught about it, and as she's driving down the road, she gets, bam! You know, hit from behind, you know, from this like just random guy. Of course, they you know, exchange information with one another, the names, the addresses, you know, the insurance stuff. But then, as soon as she goes home, she gets in trouble by her parents for, you know, wrecking the car and all this kind of stuff, because she was about to go on this little vacation with her family to like this dance club or doing something. And but yet her parents say, hey, since you wrecked the car, you have to stay here, get this thing taken care of, and you're gonna be staying here for the next, you know, day or so by yourself. And of course, when she's there, she slowly gets stalked by a crazy person, which could be her boyfriend or the guy that hit her from behind, because she's not sure what's going on. But there's something really creepy going on outside of her house, and she's just trying to get down to what the hell is going on. And it just turns into this really crazy, you know, kind of movie. And I just really like the whole tone of this film. It feels like a movie it would have been made in the 80s. Or something like that, from like the music and just like the pacing of it. I dug it, except for like maybe like the last like 5 minutes of the movie, you know what I mean? Like where you think like the bad guy is gonna be getting up kind of thing, and then something, you know, it's, I don't know, the weird, like a weird pacing issue towards the end, you know, of the film. But like it was just really, really fun, and nonetheless, I was just really surprised by it. On this film, on this Blu-ray, you get like a cool special feature where you can watch this movie as if you're watching a VHS. It's called what's called the retro VHS cut of the film on here, where it looks like, you know, like all grainy, like how you put in a VHS tape kind of thing. Really kind of cool version that they put on here. But the girl of this film is absolutely beautiful, man. But I really like the cover art that's underneath the one that we have on the slipcover. This one's just super cool, man. I would have advertised the film with this instead of this, in my opinion. Grab this one. It's super, super cool. Alright, everyone, and next up over here from Lionsgate and Vestron Video are two titles I was very excited to find out that they were coming out to Blu-ray. And if you guys don't know, Vestron Video was this company that used to put out a lot of like cool horror movies on VHS back in like the 80s and maybe early 90s. They just released their first two in their line on Blu-ray here, and that is Chopping Mall and Blood Diner over here. But the first one I'm going to talk to you guys about today is the collector's edition of Chopping Mall. This is a movie I absolutely love since the very first time I've watched it on VHS back in the day, which I still think I have my VHS like in a box somewhere, but I still have my original DVD copy of the film when it first came out. I'm like, I gotta get it. This is the artwork, is the stuff that pulled me in as a kid, you know what I mean? Like, come on now. If you saw this as a kid in the 80s, you wouldn't want to find out what this was, you know what I mean? But this movie right here is cool because it takes place in a mall, kind of like Dawn of the Dead. This movie is actually kind of like Dawn of the Dead meets like RoboCop in a way, but it's pretty much about this mall that's trying to, you know, step into the future and, you know, have these new night watchman people. Instead of having people, watching the mall, they want to have these robots that they just created that can go around and, make sure there's no bad people, in the mall at night, doing, crazy stuff. So like this mall is implementing this new, robot system into their mall. And of course, the first night, of these robots being in their mall, the lightning strikes the mall and hits their mainframe computer. These robots, start, freaking out a little bit, and, they're just kind of out of their minds right now. They're kind of turned into killer bots, but yet there's a small group of friends that are in this one department store at night. One of them, like, works at one of the stores, so they're all in there just, like, having sex with one another, doing all this crazy stuff, but they don't know that these killer robots are on the loose, going around the mall, and are going to take them out one by one, you know what I mean, if they're not careful. And it's just all the shenanigans that occur when these young kids in this mall find out, what's going on. It's just a really fun 80s cheese fest. Right over here, it also stars Kelli Maroney, who also starred in Night of the Comet and stuff, and she's just absolutely gorgeous in this film. But the cool thing is about this movie, you get a new digitally remastered transfer on here. It looks so much better than the DVD version that I'm used to watching, and you also get a lot of new special features on here. I was really surprised of how many special features they have on here. It's kind of like Vestron Video and Lionsgate are trying to be like their own Scream Factory or own, Arrow Video or something with these kind of releases here. Because on this Blu-ray here, you get audio commentary track by writer-director Jim Wynorski, Kelli Maroney, and some and the co-writers and stuff. But you also get a new hour-long documentary, or 50-minute long documentary, talking to the cast and crew members, about their experiences making this film, just talking about their experiences and how fans bring it up to them, all the time at conventions and things. You also get like a lost scene on here that you never seen before. But the picture quality on here was absolutely not like 4K status or anything like that. It was a low budget film in the 80s, so don't expect it to look like Blu-ray quality like movies of today, kind of stuff. Still has like the grain. It kind of has like the like a soft focus, to the film like it did back in the day, but it does, look a lot better and sound a lot better than I'm used to seeing and hearing from my, previous edition, of the film here. But like, if you're a fan of Chopping Mall, definitely upgrade to this new Blu-ray edition. But if you guys, love 80s cheese, definitely check out Chopping Mall over here. And next up over here from Vestron Videos is their collector's edition of Blood Diner over here. I know this movie's got like another Blu-ray release, I think in another country or whatever, but this is the film I've only watched like once or twice in my lifetime. I can't say I'm a big fan, I grew up watching it or anything like that, like Chopping Mall, but this one is a definite cheese fest also. It's about these two brothers who at the beginning of the film get told this message from their crazy uncle, that he gives them these necklaces and stuff, and tells these boys, you gotta follow these rules and blah blah blah, like whatever the guy says. I can't remember the whole incantation that the guy says, but then the guy runs out of the house and gets killed by these cops and stuff. And then like 20 years later, these two young brothers are like digging in their uncle's grave and undoing him from his coffin and like taking his brain out of his uncle's head and everything like that, and like they're saying this weird incantation and bringing his uncle's brain to life, and his uncle's brain and eyes are like talking to them now and like telling them what to do, and it's just pretty much them trying to form this perfect woman named Sheetar, and it's just really kind of crazy. Like I was just watching it, getting this feeling like I'm watching like a fan of the people that are making this were like a fan of like Herschel Gordon Lewis. Because it kind of felt like I was watching like Blood Feast or like what was it called, The Gruesome Twosome, like the way the gore effects were in this film. It was just a really cool throwback, to the Herschel Gordon Lewis days of like gore fest movies, and like had like a hint of humor, just like those Herschel Gordon Lewis movies do. But on here, you get a new digitally remastered picture and sound quality on here. Like I said, I've only ever seen the movie once or twice in my life, so I can't say if it looks better than any other editions, of the film that I've seen. But it does looks pretty solid for a Blu-ray release, of a 80s slasher film over here. But on this Blu-ray here, you get You get a handful of new special features, not as many as Chopping Mall, but you get a audio commentary by the director, Jamie Kong. You also get a featurette making of the film, talking to some of the cast members that are still around, about their experiences, theatrical trailers, TV spots on here. So if you're a fan of this film, or just, cheesy Herschel Gordon Lewis-esque, kind of movies, you guys will get a kick out of this one. Really, really crazy, because these two brothers own their own little diner, and they're like, picking people off and trying to pick out the different pieces that they want, to make this, Shitar creature thing. I don't know, it's just really strange. I like it, but not as much as, Chopping Mall and stuff. But next up over here from Sony is a movie I was really excited to check out too, because I love shark movies, like Open Water, Jaws, Deep Blue Sea, and all that kind of stuff. And this one stars Blake Lively, and it's The Shallows here on Blu-ray. And it's about this young girl played by Blake Lively, who's kind of having like issues with her family and stuff, and her job. And she ends up going on this retreat in the middle of like nowhere, this like beautiful lagoon. She was supposed to go down there with like one or two of her friends, but her friends kind of bailed on her. But now she's on this beach in the middle of this majestic area. So she decides to go out for a surf. You know what I mean? Because she's a surfer. She wants to get up on the water. And this place that she's at is a place that her mother went to when her mother was a young woman, and her mother died years ago. And she's just kind of doing this, as like a tribute to her mother and stuff. And she's going out there surfing, doing her thing, and she gets attacked by a shark. And she ends up getting posted up on this one rock that's just just a little bit out of the water, and trying to figure out how she's going to survive there, rather this shark is stalking her, is going around around these circles in this on this rock, and land is just about just that far away from where she's at, and she needs to figure out how the hell she's going to survive this and get to this land without getting killed. It's just a really, really super suspenseful flick. I absolutely enjoyed it. I thought Blake Lively's absolutely beautiful. I think she really did pull off a nice performance in here. There's really only like one or two other random people that you see in the movie. She's like the main person that you see, and I loved it. I really did. It looks really beautiful on Blu-ray. Kind of felt like I was watching like Open Water meets like The Endless Summer, but like some of like the shots of her surfing and stuff. If you guys remember the old Dana Brown movies from back in the 60s or 70s, the surfing documentaries. If you guys love like movies like that and this Open Water and stuff, you guys will get a kick out of this. Really super suspenseful film. On this Blu-ray, you get deleted scenes, a making of the film on here, and a handful of other. I can't highly recommend it enough. Look at that. Ooh. Blake Lively. Oh, blood. Oh, there's blood. But next up over here, the next handful up are from Warner Brothers Home Entertainment. And the first one up over here is The Flash, Season 2 right over here. I just had to get to Season 2 because I loved Season 1. And this one right here doesn't pick up right where Season 1 left off. It picks up like 6 months or 7 months after the first season ended. And, at the end of the first season, this big portal opened up, and this one helmet came out of, I forgot the guy's name again, like Zurich. I can't remember the guy's helmet came out, and he was like, what's going on? And then you finally see whose helmet that is. And now, but yet, since the portals are all have opened up and stuff, these bad characters, bad guys are coming out of this portal and like wreaking havoc. Like there's one guy named Zoom is like causing all this mayhem, and now the Flash has to deal with this new bad guy. But the reason I really wanted to see Season 2 here is because you get an episode in here directed by Kevin Smith, one of my favorite writers, directors out there in Hollywood right now. Ever since I saw the movie Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, all of his flicks, except for the like Red State. It wasn't my favorite thing of his, but the main thing I wanted to see on this Blu-ray is like an hour-long documentary of Kevin Smith directing his episode. You know what I mean? Like it's just a whole featurette featuring Kevin Smith and like his journey on making the episode of The Flash that he did. And I believe he's even going to direct an episode or two of The Flash Season 3 when that comes out. And I also get a 2015 Comic-Con panel up on this Blu-ray right here. It's just a really super fun show if you guys have never seen it before. But you also get a clip in here finding out why Kevin Smith was able to direct the episode that he did of The Flash, because he's a super fan and made a video of himself like crying to the finale of Season 1 and how much it meant to him and stuff. And the creators of the show were like, dude, we want him on here to direct an episode because you're such a fan, kind of thing. And I thought that was just super, super cool. But if you guys are into, what's it called, superhero TV shows, this is actually really, really decent. That one and Supergirl are the ones I kind of dig a little bit more, to be honest. And the next three up over here from the new Warner Brothers horror movies that came out this week, and I was just so happy to get them here to talk to you guys about. And this first one up right here is a one that I remember watching, all the time on VHS. It was like a double tape VHS, and even the DVD of the film that came out years ago was like one of those ones you put it in, and then you have to like flip it over midway through. And that is Stephen King's It over here on Blu-ray. The super, super classic film. I believe it's like a TV movie. Of course, it stars Tim Curry, Jonathan Brandis, Seth Green, what's it called? John Ritter. The list goes on, and it's about these a group of young friends back in the 1950s or 60s who are getting tortured, by this evil clown, entity played by Tim Curry. And one of the kids gets killed, and the other ones are just getting tortured throughout this one summer. And these kids make a pact, back in the 50s, to like, if this clown, this crazy clown creature ever comes back, we got to come back together and take this guy out. And now it takes place like 20 years later or so, and all the kids are grown up now, and the havoc is happening again. The crazy murder spree is going on again, and they think it could be Pennywise the clown again, and it's them all coming back together after all these years to just to face their fears and see if they can take out this evil clown. And it's just a super fun, if you guys have never seen this movie before, really, really creepy stuff to film, but I'm so glad Warner Brothers put that out on Blu-ray. And this next one up over here is a film I've only ever seen once before, didn't hardly remember it when I watched it again, and that is Salem's Lot. Over here on Blu-ray. This is a film that came out back in 1979. I believe it was like a made-for-TV movie that was like, like a 2-night special miniseries kind of thing. And it's about this writer who's moving back into his hometown, but as soon as he goes there, he finds out that this vampire has moved into town, and that vampire is turning other people in the town into vampires, and then the townspeople are turning other people into vampires, and all this craziness is going on. And I know, this movie, it's kind of slow, and it's not as cool as like It or anything like that, but it definitely has like a cool 70s vibe to it. But it's one of those ones that really takes a lot for it to get going. You know what I mean? To like move along. Because remember, it's a movie, a made-for-TV movie in the 70s, so it's just really kind of super slow, but it does look nice on Blu-ray if you've never seen it before. But next up over here is another Stephen King adaptation, a really cool, what's called horror anthology film, and that's Cat's Eye, over here on Blu-ray, starring Drew Barrymore, James Woods, and a slew of others. And this one has like 3 horror short films on here, all revolving, around this cat and the young girl, Drew Barrymore and stuff. Drew Barrymore and this cat are in like each little like segment somehow. And I really like this horror anthology, man. This is one of those ones I remember watching when I was younger and not really appreciating it very much. I was going, this is kind of stupid. But now that I watch it as an adult, and I'm going, okay, I get it a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, I understood what was really going on, because back then I didn't know horror anthologies. I'm like, what is going on here? kind of thing. But I really like the first story of James Woods, trying to figure out how to quit smoking and going to this place to help him, quit smoking, and what he goes through when he's doing that. It's just a really fun horror anthology film if you've never seen it before. And plus, if you like Drew Barrymore, definitely get this Blu-ray right here.
Hi, just stopping by again real quick with my episodic television choices for this time. The first one I really like, never seen it before, called The Catch. And it stars Mireille Enos and Peter Krause, who you may remember from 6 Feet Under. She plays one of the heads of the Anderson Vaughn investigations. She's a private detective. And she is taken by an international con man played by Peter Krause. It shows in the first episode, that they're a couple and they're in love, and you're not really thinking anything of it till you find out during the pilot that he takes her life savings and disappears. So she is just completely devastated. She's, I'm a private investigator. How could I not see the signs? Is one of the things she says. So the rest of this series basically is her trying to locate Christopher while managing other cases, and solving other cases that she's presented with. And he, being a con man, continues to con other people. So it's an investigation and con all in one. And as later on, since I haven't seen all the episodes yet, looks like they're gonna be linking together all his professionals from his side and her professionals from her side. Oh gosh, it's a roller coaster. I really love it. Pick it up. Now, the next thing I have for you, some of you may not ever have even heard about it or know what it is, but I was a very faithful watcher of Charlie's Angels back in the day. Yes, I was. And the series first starred Kay Jackson, Farrah Fawcett, and Jacqueline Smith. And those were the ones that I grew up with. I vaguely remember Cheryl Ladd, Shelley Hack, and Tanya Roberts. So I must have kind of veered off after the first set came. I was really surprised. I thought, for some reason, this series would end up being really, dated. Yeah, I know the hairstyles, whatever, Farrah Fawcett's hair and all that. But I thought, for some reason, like it is in other things that have come up, or from, way back when I was young and watching TV, I thought the episodes would appear dated, but they really don't. Also it had a lot of controversy. You might want to look it up online if you'd like to, but controversy within the seasons here of Charlie's Angels. But I know I really enjoyed it. I really did. And for some reason, those of you who are my age thinking, oh, I don't know, this seems like it's going to be kind of dated. Not really. I mean, I haven't watched the whole thing, but it's really not, and I'm really enjoying it. Also, this set contains the complete 5 seasons of Charlie's Angels. I loved it. Can't put it down. And the last one I have for you is, of course, the complete 3rd season of Mom, starring Anna Faris and Allison Janney. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Those two together, it looks brilliant for them to cast, and they are great chemistry. They are so hysterical. Now, of course, Anna Faris plays Allison Janney's daughter. They're both sober, alcoholic drug users, so you get a lot of the 12-step program in there because they attend 12-step meetings. And this particular season, takes off because they're both sober. It's interesting because it focuses more on their relationships with people. And I mean, as funny as they are, it's just, I'm sorry, really hysterical. I love this. And like I say, it just focuses on their relationships with people and, how they move along in society with going, being a 12-step person. I'm sorry, whoever thought of this series was brilliant. I absolutely love it. And it, shows how the 12-step programs work. And if you want to get this 3rd season of Mom, you need to go to the WarnerArchives.com. It's a great one. Now, that's for me for now.
Okay, everyone, next up over here from the Warner Archive Collection is the complete 1st season of Hanging with Mr. Cooper over here on DVD. This season set right here contains all 22 episodes of season 1 right here on 3 discs and everything. This is a show I remember watching on TGIF back in the day. I think it used to air on Tuesdays or Fridays, right after Sister or whatever back in the day. And this is just one of those ones I always remembered. It wasn't one of those ones that I was like, oh my God, and I remember the show. Where could I find it? Like Full House or Step by Step or Family Matters or anything like that. But when I found out that the Warner Archive Collection was releasing this, I'm like, oh shit, I do remember this show, and I want to get my hands on this right here. But this is one of those shows. It stars Mark Curry as a former NBA star turned substitute teacher now. He's kind of a single guy that lives with 2 beautiful women as roommates, but yet he has a job as a substitute teacher going to different schools, and things like that, and the hilarity ensues from there. But you also get what's called Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen in here, and a handful of episodes playing their character of Michelle Tanner in here. So it's kind of, sort of, like a spin-off of Full House, kind of, because you get the characters of Michelle Tanner in here, and it's also, this show right here is also from the creator of Full House, so you kind of get different things integrated into the show that you wouldn't have you wouldn't normally see, and I thought that was kind of cool. And you also get Omar Gooding in here in a good amount of episodes. He was one of the cast members of Wild and Crazy Kids back on Nickelodeon back in the day. He has a couple of funny parts in here. But if you're a fan and you guys remember TGIF back in the day and you remember hanging with Mr. Cooper, definitely support this release if you guys want to get the other 4 seasons of the show released on DVD. And next up over here from Disney is Season 1, or kind of, it's not titled Season 1, but it's The Lion King, Unleash the Power here on DVD. This is actually kind of the official first season, of The Lion King, of The Lion Guard over here on DVD. This is a show that airs on Nick Jr., and this is actually the second what's it called, TV show based on the Lion King movie that came out back in 1994. The first Disney TV show was a show called Timon and Pumbaa back in the day. I think I remember like old VHS tapes of that, being released, and I had a couple of those back in the day. Those are, I'm not gonna lie, my favorite, characters from the movie that I always remember, Timon and Pumbaa. You know what I mean? Hakuna Matata show, and it's just pretty much about Simba's son going on adventures with his friends, the Lion Guard, and taking care of the Pride Lands, and there's just the mischief that they get into. I find this to be really entertaining. I like watching it. I watched a couple episodes with Ethan. He was kind of really into it, just sitting there going, Ethan's my nephew and stuff. But I like this for what it was. It's pretty decent. And next up over here, and last up for my update today, is a movie from the Wild Eye Releasing, and it's called Exorcist The Fallen, and it's about this family, and this young woman, the young daughter of this family, gets possessed, by this evil demon, because one night her brother and her best friend were messing around with the Ouija board, and of course something happens. She gets possessed, and oh my god, it's kind of like a low-budget version of The Exorcist, and it's just their family trying to figure out what they're going to do to save their daughter's life. It was really kind of low budget, super cheesy, like kind of bad at the, really kind of, oh god, you know what I mean? Like the acting was kind of really, really kind of bad in some spots in here. But like, I don't know, it's just, you can't really give this movie, you can't give movies like this that bad of a hard time, because there's just people out there making a movie for fun. But that's Exorcist Has Fallen. I can't recommend that one, guys, but the cover looks kind of cool. But that's all I have to talk to you guys about today for this Blu-ray DVD update video. Give this video a thumbs up if you guys liked what you saw, and let me know down in the comments what movie you guys liked that you guys might be picking up that I talked about in this video down in the comments, and I'll see you all later.